everybody, it's Amalia, and I'm here today with some fun layered stencil projects. I'll be working with some stencil sets from Brutus Monroe, two of which are on super sale right now at the Brutus Monroe website. Check the description bar below for links, and I will also include a code for 10% off your purchase. Today I'll be using Succulent inks from Imagine Crafts. I'll be working with my VersaColor pigment inks in Canary and Cardinal, and I'll also be digging into my collection of dewdrop ink pads in the Memento line and in the VersaMagic line. I have been working a ton with my VersaColor ink pads, and you might be able to see that Canary yellow is a little bit stained. I kind of like it though from what I'm doing. I think it works for what I'm trying to create. Can you tell what this is going to be? Let me know in the comments below if you can tell what this is going to be. This is a layering stencil, and so each part gets layered over the previous one, and I'm layering multiple colors to create the design. And the first dewdrop ink pad is this one in VersaMagic, and it's called Mango Madness. I needed a little bit of an orange color to do this next part, and so I'm using Mango Madness. These VersaMagic dewdrop inks are a chalk-based ink or a chalk finish ink. So if you think of having a chalky finish or maybe it looking oxidized, that's the kind of effect that you'll have with these mini ink pads. For this next part, I'm moving on to Cardinal in the VersaColor pigment ink. These pigment inks dry pretty quickly, but there is some open time so that you can even use them for embossing powder. Can you tell what I'm making yet? It kind of looks like a stegosaurus, doesn't it? I'm layering a bit of brown at the bottom of that rich cardinal red color just to deepen it a little bit and give it some dimension. We're starting with the last layer, and I'm going to be using two greens on this, and I'm starting with the new Sprout color in the Memento Dewdrop ink. This is a fade-resistant dye ink, and it has beautiful, rich color, even though it's a very pale, almost pastel type green. I'm then going to go over it with Cottage Ivy. This is a darker, deeper green, and I'm going to just color in the base of that lighter green to give it more dimension. Talk about a big reveal. Here's the taco. The Succulent inks are rich and juicy and really fun to work with when you're working with stencils. For this next project, I'm going to use chalk ink again, and I'm starting with the chalk ink in Spring Pansy. Some succulents have like a pinky lavendery hue to them, so that's why I'm starting with this color. Then on top of that, I'm using the VersaMagic chalk ink in Aloe Vera, and I'm going to blend those colors through the stencil and sort of together to sort of make them mix. Here's a close-up of what it looks like so far. For the next part of the stencil, I'm going to be using VersaMagic tea leaves. I think this larger cactus is called a Seguro cactus. I'm not really sure. If you know what it's called, leave a comment below. In fact, if you know what that other style of succulent is called, leave a comment in the comments below. Well, here's that card panel all finished, and I got really juicy with that Seguro cactus. And so it's a little fuzzy looking, so I'm going to do some more stuff to it. And what I ended up doing was using a white gel pen to just make little spines on the cactus. And I also outlined it with a black pen. And I think it still needs something more, so let me show you what I did. I dug deep into my stash, folks, and I came up with this empty spritzer bottle, and I took my Sheer Shimmer craft spray in the color Sparkle, and let me tell you, that's an understatement. This sparkles like crazy. Then I also took my Desert Sand re-inker, and I put a little bit in the jar. Really, it wasn't enough because I got happy with that spray. And then I added some desert sand one drop, and then that wasn't enough. I'm very heavy-handed with things, so I added another drop and a half, and then I got scared and I quickly closed the bottle and set it aside. That's the color in the bottle, but I'm going to do a test spritz first to make sure it's the right color. And I use the stencil and a blank piece of cardstock, and I spritz, 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 and it's the perfect color. It looks so much darker in the bottle, but it's the perfect color, and it looks like sand, and look how much it sparkles. Now it's time to spritz my piece, and I went at it, and it wasn't enough. I ran out right about there, but I kept going as far as I could, and it blotched a little, but it was fine. I used up that whole amount, and thank God I only had that much because I would have kept going. I love things that sparkle. Anyway, I took my heat gun just to dry it off, and it flattened out perfectly, and I love it. It gives it that sandy tone, and it dried perfectly. It is so sparkly. I love how this came out. This shimmer craft spray is gorgeous. Hey, thanks for sticking with me, folks. I've got one more project. I had so much fun playing with these colors. I'm back to the Cardinal VersaColor, and I think you can tell what these are, but this Cardinal red is the perfect red for this and for any other red that you may need. Now, like I did with the taco, I'm going to take some brown. This is called pine cone. And I need some color, but I need to take off a little bit of it because I just want a little bit of shading to give the little chilies a little bit more depth. And you'll see in the end, it really works out very well. And for the stems of the chilies, I went back to using two greens. I used a lighter one to start, and then I went back in with a little bit of a darker one, again, just to give it some dimension and some depth. And another big reveal. And I did get a little juicy with this Cardinal VersaColor again, but I did another one, and this one came out a little bit better, but they're both fabulous. Let me show you what I did with the tacos. I made 3 tacos. One of them was a little bit crispier than the others. Can you tell which one? I just used a little bit too much brown on one, but let me show you the finished projects. I really do like the way this came out. I wasn't thrilled with it at first, but then I did my tweaks. I added my sparkle, I worked my magic, and I really love the way this came out. And just a reminder, this is the Imagine Crafts Sheer Shimmer Craft Spray, and I used some desert sand re-inkers. As a general rule, whenever I get an ink pad, I always buy a re-inker for it. Next, let's talk about my next project. I used the crispy taco on this one and made my chilies the background. Of course, I used a wobbler for the taco because why not? They're hysterical. I also used some clear enamel dots, and I just thought that they would look really cute on all the chilies, so I added one to each chili. And I still have some other tacos left over and another panel left over for other projects. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Be sure to leave a thumbs up and a comment below, and I'll have links in the description for all the products that I use. Thanks, everybody. Bye!